that is us up and running. So without further ado, I am going to hand over to Zoe and Mara from Sumdog. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you, Chris. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our session today. We're really excited. A bit different this year, but anyway. I'm Zoe Sinclair. I'm a relationship manager at Sumdog, and I will pass you to Mara now to introduce herself. You probably know Mara, what you do.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us today. Yeah, my name is Mara, and I am the training and support manager. So I sometimes appear on webinars and do training for schools as well. Not in person this year, sadly. Hopefully soon I'll get back into lots of schools. So yeah, we're going to cover lots in this session. So I'll hand it back over to Zoe, and she's going to start.
Okay, so this session is about engaging pupils with Sumdog, and what we are going to cover is we're going to show you the difference between the free version. Some of you may have Sumdog, just the free version versus the subscription. We're going to talk a little bit about the research that's gone into Sumdog, one of our studies from 2019. We're going to show you how to access to Sumdog for on devices, and how and to let parents know how to access for the pupils to access at home. We're going to let you know all the exciting new things on Sumdog. We've been working really hard over the last few years, and we've got lots of new features. Going to show you an overview of our diagnostic tool, another sort of new relaunch that we did recently. Then we're going to show you the maths tool. So we're going to show you how you can set work for maths. Then we're going to go and show you a little bit on fluency, which is obviously really important, that's speed and accuracy. Then the data, very important part of it. So obviously monitoring that progress and being able to evidence it. And then there'll be a wee slot at the end to answer questions, but feel free to ask any questions throughout this presentation. Okay, so free versus subscription. Okay, so anyone can sign up for Sumdog. It's free to sign up for, and you get 6 games for the pupils to play. It's fully aligned to the national curriculum for maths, for early to, sorry, not national curriculum, sorry, curriculum for excellence, from early to 3rd level. What you can do is you can set work on multiplication tables. That's a free feature. And you have the diagnostic test, which sort of assesses the pupils when they first log in, and gets their base level against the curriculum. So it is a fantastic little free, account that you can get. However, I'm going to really tell you the sort of features and benefits of having a subscription. So basically, you've got 25 games, I think 26, because we've got a new one coming soon. So obviously that variety for the pupils, because they do get a wee bit, bored, children, of playing the same games. So again, fully aligned to the curriculum for excellence, early to 3rd level. What you do have the option for with a subscription as well is to have spelling and grammar, which are aligned to the curriculum for excellence from early to 2nd level for spelling, and the grammar is aligned to the national curriculum. So then what you can do is you can set personalised practice on all maths topics, or you can do it for spelling and grammar. You can have focused class and homework. It's fantastic for both. I know that the focus has been on remote learning at the moment, but it is a fantastic tool to have in class as well. And the magical part for teachers is it's all marked for you. So we've got auto-marked assessments. And you can reward pupils. So obviously the fantastic thing for pupils is the rewards. They love it. They get their coins, they go into their little store, they spend it on furniture for their little house and garden and their avatar. So teachers can actually reward pupils with extra coins. Now that's quite a new feature. And you also have activity reports. So you can get detailed reports on the progress of your pupils. And you can also have access to, oh, sorry, excuse me, also access to the class by, so not just on a class by class basis, but you can have access to reports for like the whole school. Okay. So quite a lot you get with the subscription compared to the free account. Okay, so just going to talk a little bit about our research. Now there is a link to that. You can go onto the website and find out a little bit more about the research, but essentially you can see from there, we did a study in Glasgow from sort of October 2018 to 2019, and basically it proved that if you played Sumdog regularly, that you progressed, as you can see again from there. But if you can see the report, impact report itself, if you go onto our website. Okay. Access to Sumdog. Sumdog can be accessed on any device. You just download the app. So for computers or laptops, it works best with Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and Safari, or if you've got a Mac. But again, you can download the free app on any sort of mobile device, phones, iPads, tablets, and you can get the app from the Apple Store, Google Play, and Amazon. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at the moment? No. Fine. Okay. So it's exciting. What is new on Sumdog? Oh, bear with me. Okay. So basically, I have to go into the website. Bear with me. So we have a brand new feature, which is our assessment library. So these are sort of pre-populated assessments that we have. It's literally just been released, and I'm just going to show you. Bear with me. Hold on a second. Excellent. Okay, so there we are. So what you do is you go into Set Work, and then you'll see the good thing about Sumdog is you get a little alert when there's a lovely new feature there. So you click on Set Work on your teacher dashboard, go into the assessment library, click on Create and View. Here we are. Okay, and then if you go into assessments, go into change here. Okay, now you'll see these levels. Okay, so you can see that you've got, you might be a bit confused when you see that sort of second level A, second level B, second level C. So basically we have an ex-teacher on our curricula team called Gordon, and he was a teacher at North Lanarkshire, and he, because second level is so vast, so he basically just thought, you know what, we'll make it in sort of bite-sized chunks. So that's what it is, it's such a vast level. So that's all that means there, in case you get confused. Okay, so we just click on second level B. Here we go, and click on choose. And then you can preview this. So here you go. So there is the assessment all ready for you. So we're doing all the work for you there. And that you can see all the questions there. Okay. Thank you very much, Mara. And again, does all the marking for you. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to pass you over to Mara. Thanks.
Yep, so the assessment library is just out, and just to kind of point out that these are obviously great tools to have for moderation purposes. And as Zoe said, Gordon is going to populate this over the next months and add in lots of, for example, topic assessments. So place value, looking at estimation and rounding is going to pop up early, first, second and third level. So that's a little taster into what's going to be there. It's going to have hopefully hundreds of assessments that you can use on there and help you kind of, for example, identify gaps. The other new thing is the games. The children love the games. That's the engagement factor. When we have looked at other companies, and when teachers say to us, oh, we use this and that, and we always kind of look at it from a kind of child's point of view and its engagement. So they've got lots of games there. The new one is Pocket Racer down there, and the children get to play on that. The great thing about that is that they are not timed against it, so it's just a going through a course, because I know that some children get a little bit kind of anxious with the timing there. But with that subscription, it's obviously 26, not a deliberate mistake at the start when it said 25, but we'll get that updated. That's the website marketing people to get that updated. So another thing, this is actually, you're the first people in, I would say, probably the whole world that is getting to see this. So very shortly, soon, I can say, is going to be new reporting. If you already have a subscription, your reporting is going to get even better. We always rely on feedback from teachers, so please always email us, tell us what could be better, because that goes into a massive big database, and we pull it apart and then put obviously these features. And this is one thing, you wanted to see children, what they answered correctly, that's brilliant, but actually wanted to see what other children answered. So these new reports are coming soon. When you set any assessment in maths, you'll be able to see, for example, the report here, which looks the same as before, but when you click on the questions now, and you can use back and forth buttons there to see them, you'll see what the children that answered it wrong, what actually they chose there. So it's great for highlighting those misconceptions in maths, just to see, you know, obviously here they've chosen obtuse angle being reflex, so you can target those children and do some more investigation. So that is brand new, it's coming soon, hopefully next couple of weeks, fingers crossed. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but there you go. What else is new? So it's kind of new, but we feel as if some people still don't know about it, the new diagnostic. Again, it's from feedback. Teachers were telling us from our old diagnostic for maths that it wasn't quite matching up to what they had. We have got an amazing curriculum team, Gordon and Dr. Sarah Humphreys, who did all of the research as well. The two of them Sarah helped create this here, where they're looking at making it even better. Now, with this diagnostic, we have taken away the elements of games, because teachers said to us, you know, the feedback, the games were getting a bit distracting when we're trying to work out. The purpose of this diagnostic is Sumdog doesn't know anything about your children to start off with. We don't know what level they are, and that's what this diagnostic is doing. It's asking them questions. We've also broken it up into two parts as well, and the first part obviously is on number, because that's obviously a bigger area, we cover more of that, and then we move on to 40 questions on all maths topics. So it's great for identifying where they are. Obviously, it's a snapshot of when they've done it, but it's getting to know you. It's Sumdog getting to understand where they are. When they've completed that, we will give them a focus skill to work on. So that's part of free Sumdog and subscription. So basically, you can put your feet up, sit back and relax. Sumdog's assessed them, marked it, and given them some learning to do there. And we don't present it to the children as a test. It's just getting to know you. The report is taken a jump up as well. We are now splitting it up into strands so that you can identify where, for example, strengths are with certain areas, and where children might need extra support when you come to that area when you're teaching maths. So the reporting has even taken a kind of jump up. I'm going to show you it on the live screen now as well. So to find the reporting once they've completed it, it's in reports and diagnostic. And we always kind of, when we show teachers this, they're like, oh, great, you can see, you can split it all up. You can see here what they've been placed at. They are making it nice and clear, download it. We take it that one step further. When you click on the test, you're now getting an individual report on that child, seeing which questions they answered and which ones they got wrong. And again, back to that kind of misconceptions. If they answered it wrong, what did they choose there? So all of that, as I said before, is part of free Sumdog and your subscription. So if you're not using your subscription at the moment, Sumdog is giving them level appropriate work. So if you do have any questions, just pop them in. I'm going to hand over to Zoe now, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what more Sumdog can do.
Okay, I did. Thank you, Mara. That's great. Okay, so what you can do is you can put your class into groups. for differentiation. So you don't just have to have set work for your whole class. Now, what you can do when you're setting work, and I will show you this, is it'll ask you if you want to set them into groups when you're doing that. What we would recommend is actually putting them into groups before you set work for them. So you can have them in their little groups. They don't know they're in the little groups. This is just something that you can see. And so that's, so you can split them into a class for different subjects, or you can view it as a year level as a whole, as I said. So again, for more information, you can visit our help pages. And what you can do is you can contact our support team if you need any assistance with that. Okay, then, right, okay, so I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to explain about all the different ways that you can set work for maths. Okay, so you've got two ways that you can do them. So you've got the fun side, where it is within Sumdog games for the pupils. And then you've got the assessment side, which is outside of Sumdog games, and it's more like a kind of online worksheet. So setting a challenge for all maths topics. As I said, it's games. It is random questions. So what you're doing is you're selecting the skills, but you don't know the specific questions. And then you get a summary of results, and children sort of at the end of the game see their corrections there. And the fantastic part is they get a bonus coin for each correct answer. So they get really excited about that. So that's a fantastic way to kind of set work for personalized practice. And then you have your assessments, as I said, which is a fantastic way to identify gaps in learning, which I know at this moment in time is quite important, because they've missed so much. This is a really good way. So what you would do is you would go on, I'll show you how to do this in a second, set an assessment before you're going to teach a topic, just so you've got their sort of knowledge there. Teach the topic over the next couple of weeks, and then repeat the assessment. And then you can just really sort of identify those gaps. And they're quite good. You can use these two together to consolidate that learning. Okay. And so, okay. So for setting personalized practice for work. So during the games, so there it's sorry, bear with me 1 second. Are we on the right slide? Sorry, Mara. The computer's was a bit perfect. Sorry about that. Okay. So setting personalized practice. So you go on to your teacher dashboard and go into set work, and you will see there that you can set all maths topics. There we go. Thanks, Mara. Go into your set work, and you'll see all the different tiles there, and you've got your all maths topics there. So you just click on that. So that's that little box there where it says split students into groups that I mentioned earlier there. So you can click on that for me, Mara. Okay. And so you can set them into groups. So you click on add students, and what you can do is you can choose specific pupils that you want to focus on. So then you would just go on to your choose skills. And there you can see you've got all topics. So you've got 252 skills. So it's every skill within the Curriculum for Excellence. So you can filter that down. So you click on, you choose your topic there, topic or topics. Just click on that. And then you'll see that's filtered down into all the skills related to time. And this is for all levels. So what you want to do, so that you go telling time to 5 minutes. There we go. And then you'll see that the skill that you've chosen is selected in the other column there. And then you can set another challenge for other students as well. There we go. Then what you would do is you would just name your challenge, something that, so when the pupils go onto their little dashboard, it's called their little city page, they have their task at the side, but any work set by the teacher, so any challenges or assessments are actually prioritized at the top there. So yeah, telling the time, there you go. Just name it something that they will recognize. Okay, and then you set your correct answer target. And again, remember they get bonus coins, so they are delighted. You can do anything you like. And then you can set the time parameters there. So you can say, right, I'm going to start that on Monday, and they've got like a week to complete it there. And then you would set the challenge. Okay, and again, so this gives you the confidence that the children are playing away, they're having lovely little time, but they are focusing on the skills that they should be focusing on rather than just playing away. There we go. Okay, so that is one way. And then what you can do is to the next slide. Thank you. Oh, perfect. So this is the results for the challenges. So you can see here that you've got your little leaderboard there, and you've got your little pie chart. So that's actually interactive. So when you go on, you can hover over it, and it will show you the participants. And in fact, we'll go onto the live site, and we'll just show you how that works there. There we go. So 2 have completed, none started, and it tells you the pupils' names there. Okay. And there you can see that leaderboard and all that data there. Okay, so accuracy 53% accuracy, and you'll see that it says 103%. That means that they've just continued playing after the challenge, after they've reached their target there. And you can actually go further into, if you click on the pupil, and you just get a sort of detailed report that, but that's fine. Don't have to do that. Okay, thank you very much. And yeah, now setting work for assessments. As I said, this is a great way for identifying gaps in learning. It is an online worksheet, so it's not as exciting for the pupils, but the good part is for the pupils, they get 5 bonus coins per correct answer. So if they're like, oh, miss, we prefer the games, you can just let them know they get 5 bonus coins. So yeah, so it's a great way, as I said, to check up on prior learning. And you can create a topic maths quiz. We like to call them quizzes because assessment, so there's a bit, it can, you know, a little bit anxiety. People think, what's an assessment or a test? We can just call it a nice quiz. And then it lets you identify the next steps, and it's great for homework as well. And you can actually sort of, you can print it off in class. You can actually have it as a worksheet as well. And it's quite good for parents' evenings and evidence. So, and as I said, these 2 ways of setting work really, really well together, just to consolidate that learning there. Okay, perfect. So here we go. So this is the results for the assessment. It's, you can see here, oh, sorry, someone at my door, apologies. So you can see here, you've got your, now if you go onto the site, if you hover over the questions there, it actually shows you the actual questions that come up on the live site. So there you can see, it's a really good visual. You can see straight away, oh look, Emily's got like lots of green ticks there, fantastic. And it shows you the exact question. So when you're setting the assessment, you can actually see the exact questions that they will be getting in their assessment. And you can actually change it as well. So there's a little refresh button at the side. So if you think, oh, there's too much of the same sort of format of that question, you can just change it. Okay.
Super, thanks Zoe. Yeah, and just the kind of the show all button at the top here as well. Obviously, you can view everybody else's in your school. If you're nosy like me, you want to see what you're up to. More importantly, you can click on show all, see everybody else's assessment, and also repeat theirs as well. So you can repeat yours and theirs, and that helps obviously with moderation purposes, or more importantly, cutting down workload. If there's already a second level fractions assessment in there, there's no point in reinventing the wheel and creating another one. So moving on, looking at multiplication. So there's 2 tools for multiplication that we have. The one in the background is the one where you set practice up. It's the same as setting it up with all maths topics, where you choose the times tables and the children practice them in games. The added bonus, and I think this is really valuable, is the heat map on the right hand side. Now, my eyesight and the screenshot isn't great, but I can see exactly which children could be struggling using this heat map with certain times tables, and on the left hand side set up some practice for them to do. on that. So that's all happening in games. The children are picking any of the games and they're practicing there. That is part of free Sumdog as well, so you don't need a subscription to do that there. The other part is called the multiplication check. And it is a little bit like a kind of test format. There's lots of kind of online, like lots of online things like this. But the bonus with this is the children are getting 5 coins for every correct answer. So they're building up their coins quite quickly. It covers all the way up to the 12 times table. So it wouldn't be appropriate for those children just starting out with their 2, 5 and 10. But it's a good way, because it looks at the kind of the timing aspect. They've got 6 seconds to answer each. Then it means that the children are kind of keeping on top of their times tables. A great wee activity for, say, a Friday at the, Friday, set it up for the children and they do it. It's out of 25 and you can track and see how they're getting on each week. And certainly for the older children, just to remind them to keep practicing their times tables. This one's a good way just to kind of highlight that fact as well. The results look the exact same as Zoe explained when we looked at this report here. The reason why I'm not showing the live site is because we are moving over to that brand new report where you'll be able to see the questions and you'll be able to see which the children answered more clearly. So all of that is on the website. Let me show you where that is in there. Let's take you back to set work in here. So as Zoe explained, all maths topics there. So that's happening in games. And then this was the assessment one she spoke about there. The multiplication tables, there's not much data on here. I do apologise, the screenshot's a little bit better, but you can see the report here and you can change it with speed and fluency. So there's lots of data just from the times tables and set up some practice, either for whole class, or you can split students into groups and, for example, target certain child or some groups of children here to practice certain times tables. So it's great for that differentiation, like so. So all of that is in there, and then the multiplication check is over here. And this is obviously what's presented to the children in this way. They get 5 coins for each correct answer, and you can see the format at the top here. 25 questions, 6 seconds to answer each, and a wee 3-second gap between it. As I said, it covers up to 12 times table, so more appropriate for the older children or children that have mastered their times tables up to there, not the ones that are just kind of starting out there. So both of those tools are part of free Sumdog there. So finally, over to the data side here. So there is a phenomenal amount of data on Sumdog because everything the children do on there, we collect it. I know certainly you can go onto websites and use certain websites there, but obviously that data is kind of lost after they've completed it. But everything they do on Sumdog, we collate it together. We gather in time on Sumdog, so you can see here, report on time, whether it's at school hours or at home hours. A little bit redundant at the moment when some of the children are at home, but certainly when they come back to school, you're able to see actually who is practicing Sumdog at home and how long for. Sometimes it might scare you how long they are practicing at home, but at least you know that they're practicing their maths and it is either matched to what you've asked them to work on or what Sumdog has assessed them and asked them to work on. The other kind of data that we gather is kind of daily data, and that is, for example, the accuracy one. I'm a big fan of this one just because it does not highlight individuals' learning. So, for example, I don't know what Natalie is learning. She's at the top of the leaderboard, but I do know that she's been the most accurate. So she could be working on her number bonds to 10. Daniel could be working on adding and subtracting fractions. But I know that Natalie is taking her time. I don't know how many times I said in the past, slow down, take your time. It's not a race when they come to their maths and they can fly out and hand you their work. That report there really highlights that they need to slow down there. And certainly I've shared that with my class because I felt it's appropriate, not always, but when I felt it was appropriate. to show them a leaderboard and give them a little bit of extra competition. When it comes to Sumdog, as I said, there is lots of data. So this is the data here that I've been talking about and showing you. Obviously, I don't have any on here today, but you can customize it. You can see the learning report, and then we have in our report section our class report there. The favourite being for Zoe and myself, we both are big fans of this one here, which is the summary report. So when Sumdog assesses them and gives them learning, then you can see here where they've been assessed at, what their current level is, and what skill they're working on. So this is when Sumdog sets it up as part of free or the subscription kind of side there. So you can see what they're working on, and lots of, obviously covering lots of different topics, place value and some shape there as well. The other one that both Zoe and I are big fans of, we spoke about that this week, is we look at the status, the skill status here. And you can view it as a bar chart. There we go, not much data, but you can see how many skills Penny has completed. Or I love the table report. The reason why is it will show me all the skills for early level, and it marks them either as started, which is orange, or green, which means completed. So that looks at 80% accuracy. So eventually, what I want to see for all the children is the green. And it's another form of gathering evidence there. So you're gathering lots of different evidence from different places, and then looking at Sumdog and saying, okay, they've shown me they can order numbers to 10 on Sumdog. That's another tick, and that's another piece of evidence I have got when it comes to reporting time. So there is lots on there, and again, we also welcome your feedback, and we will be looking at our reporting, especially when it comes to looking at our assessment library in there, which we will be adding to in the next few months. So just to finally, and again, get your questions in, we've got plenty of time to answer them, is the contest. The next contest, the regionals for Scotland, which is your local authority contest, finished just on Thursday there, and the next one is a nationwide one, and this is always a favourite of mine because I'm not gonna lie, I've got a wee soft spot for Scotland, and I love seeing Scottish schools and classes popping up in the nationwide, which is the whole of the UK, and it's great to see, you know, schools even that I've popped into or spoken to teachers before in the past pop up on that leaderboard. So the next one is the 12th of March for that there, and as of Friday, the live ones for next term have gone up as well. So the next term, I think it's one's around about May. We've got a big national one in May, sorry, that's the national one in May for National Numeracy Week, or National Numeracy Day, but it covers the week obviously. And then finally the regionals at the end of the year, so June time there. The competitions are great. The children, if you've got premium, can access 26 days. If you don't, then it's just the 6 games there, but they still can play, and you need at least 5 children to enter. It used to be 10. I'm getting this point across because there's some teachers that still contact and say, I don't have, there's obviously lots of little small classes and small schools around Scotland. So we have lowered it to 5 because we take in the class accuracy. So the average for all of that, and that's what they get onto the leaderboard. The thing I love about contests is it doesn't matter where the children are, whether they are at home learning, whether they are in school, whether they're learning in, for example, a different class from their peers, they're working as a team. I remember presenting a trophy to one school and going and asking the children, you know, give me your top tips. And they're a bit cautious about sharing them, but one little boy had turned around and said, teamwork makes the dream work, and their top tip was to make sure that everybody was getting a chance to play. So if one of their friends had completed their questions for the contest, then they would get their other friend on so that they could get a chance to play as well. So it's a great bringing the whole class together wherever they are learning, and also it's a great thing to do for homework for 1 week as well, because they're practicing their maths that week. It's getting marked for you, but it's in a little bit of a competition there. So that's us kind of come to the end. I'll hand back over to Zoe.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much for listening to us. I hope it was informative. I can see there's lots of questions there. We will answer those just in a second. So if you are interested in signing up to a subscription, you can get in touch with either myself, you can see my details on there, or my colleague Ewan. Some of you may have been at his session earlier. But as a thank you for joining our session today, if you do get in touch, just mention the SMC and you'll get a cheeky little 15% discount off your subscription. So as I said, either phone me or Ewan, those are the details there, or send us an email and we can have a little chat and see about getting you a subscription.
Super. Well, we start looking at the questions. I've got them here, Zoe. So somebody asked about what support do students get within the game activity if they are struggling? Zoe, do you want to take that one, or do you want me to handle that one?
You can handle that one.
I'm just going to chat back up there. So within the game they are playing, the games aren't too long. There are lots of different games, and don't put me on the spot and ask me about the games, because I haven't played them all. I have at one point. But within the games, the children are answering questions. When they come to get something wrong, we will show it on the screen. They get another try. So if they get it wrong, they get another attempt at that question. But at the end, every single game, they will see their corrections. So know that, for example, if, for example, it's going through in the game, the corrections have popped up during the game, the children might be focused on the game or focused on the next question. At the end, they do have a screen that they'll be able to see all of the corrections there. After that, then if it's a task that you have set up, so it's not Sumdog, it's a task that you've set up, then you'll be able to go in throughout the activity and see how they're getting on. So I'll bring you back to this one here. There you'll be able to see that this child is struggling, 50% accuracy compared to this child who's 99% accuracy there. Going in throughout the week or whenever long you've set it up and just checking to see how that child is getting on, and then being able to pinpoint that there. So that child I would maybe pull aside and maybe do some extra teaching or do some investigation into why they're maybe struggling with that skill. If it is Sumdog that is setting up the learning, so they're practicing that, then what will happen is, I don't have an example on here to show you, but I will show you to imagine, we will mark it as a hard skill. And that means that the children have got less than 50% accuracy. Mark it as hard, and then they'll skip over and do the next one. But we go through what we call revision mode, where the children come back to it. After they've completed a skill, they come back to revision mode and they practice that skill again. But they aren't stuck at that skill, because we know that, for example, when they get stuck there, they'll get a little bit kind of disheartened by Sumdog and won't want to carry on. Anything else, Zoe, you want to add? Or
no, that's great.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
do you want to carry on? You want to take the next one?
Yes. Okay, so Yvonne, having come out of the Education Scotland problem solving seminar earlier, wondering what problem solving activities you have, either for pupils to do on their end or for teachers to have access to with discussion questions for a group or the class. We don't, I mean, all of the Sumdog questions are multiple choice. So we don't actually have sort of problem solving activities as such. That's correct, Mara, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we do have word problems on there. We do have questions that are word problems. They're in obviously a multiple choice there. So
yeah, it's a multiple choice. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the short answer.
Yeah, and it's not something that we're totally dismissing.
No.
As I said, the curriculum team, so right now the curriculum team are all evaluating the questions, the maths questions within it, improving them and adding in new ones as well. Right now the format will always be multiple choice. However, who knows in the future? Yeah. We do want to make sure that we are growing. So never say never. Yeah. Is what I'd say there. It's
something that we've discussed. Definitely. But
quite a few questions trying to get through them. So are the level steps within the progression? I presume you mean, are they to do with kind of curricular corrections progression? Yes, they do match them. Gordon is going through all of that right now. And when he creates any, for example, the template assessments as assessment library, then what he is doing is he's looking at the benchmarks and matching them there. They're always in draft to start off with. We send them out and then we hope teachers come back to us and say, oh, that's perfect, or oh, that's not quite right. We're always looking for, oh, that's not quite right. And he obviously sends them out to teachers to check before we upload them for that there. I understand that all these presentations are available, how we get access to the slides and get links to the channel. I'll come back to you, Chris. Is there a way we can send out the slides? I could put them into this.
Yeah, I think I stuck a wee answer to that one in there. That so eventually all the conference presentations, PowerPoints, and the videos and all of that will be made available. And the best place to keep an eye out for that is on the Twitter feed for Scottish Maths Council or on the Scottish Maths Council website. But yes, the presenters are going to fire any of the resources or presentations to us so that we can share them with you, and obviously it'll take a wee while to package the videos, but we'll do that as soon as we can. Super.
Another one, can you preview the channel challenge? So just in here, top tip for me, when you said, Zoe said it's random questions, so it's not in that set test format there. However, here's my top tip. When you come to obviously add your students to this here, click on choose skills, and then obviously filter it down your topic, so you're at 252. Find the skill. I'm going to go back to 5-minute intervals. I'm doing a lot of that at the moment. Clicking on the little down arrow, you will see all the steps, and all of these have questions that make up this skill here. Click on the wee question mark next to it and you'll see example questions. So you will see, so this is a format of these, and the children will be asked one of these questions there for the first one, and the next one might be different, and so on there, but it gives you an idea of what the questions will look like beforehand. Because it is random, then you won't know exactly all, it's not in a set test, so you won't see the exact questions there, but if you want to have a wee sneaky peek at them, then you can use that for any of these skills. What does that question look like in Sumdog? How does Sumdog present it to the children? Stick it on your board there, and you can go through some examples with the children as well. Any other questions you've spotted, Zoe?
What did I say? Oh, it's the new assessment, sorry, Lindsay McIntyre. Is the new assessment library similar to the diagnostic? I was thinking the assessment was topic specific. It's the same format as the diagnostic. So the diagnostic test is done on that sort of online worksheet. But with the diagnostic is random questions, whereas the assessment is topic specific. So you do, Mara's shown us there. So there, click on choose, and then you'll be able to see an example.
These ones right now are the exact same as the diagnostic. We've just put them in here so you can use them. A lot of teachers, and a question I get asked a lot in training is, when should I reset the diagnostic, or should I do it, you know, to show progress and things like that? If you're happy with the diagnostic result and the children are set at that level, leave them there. And what to do is go into this and set up one of these, whichever one, so second level B, and use that as a way of measuring progress without having to reset the diagnostic. Because when you reset the diagnostic, they've got to go through it before they access, for example, the contest and things like that. Then Gordon will be populating this with even more assessments, and these will be topic ones. I hope he doesn't get me into trouble for saying this, but in the next couple of weeks, there will be at least 3 or 4 popping up. One will be estimation and rounding. So he's been working on that in early first, second, third level there. So they will pop up there as well. So he's just been building up all of these topic assessments and populating them in here. But right now it's just similar ones to the diagnostic, so that you're not resetting it. Looking at the time, Zoe.
Sarah, just going to quick answer Sarah Gordon's question. Is the diagnostic part of the free access? It sure is.
Yeah, it's all part of that.
All part of the free. Yes.
Put your feet up and let Sumdog set them and get them learning there. A question about data times tables here. Can you limit what times tables pupils have access to for the younger year groups? Yes, you could do that in here. For example, if this class was a primary 2 class or something like that there, or the class are just looking at 2 times table, select the 2 times table and then set it up, obviously, and the children in that class will only see the 2 times table when they come to that there. So you can add in, for example, 2, 5, 10, and that's the ones that they will do. They'll work through the 2, they'll move on to the 5, and then they'll move on to the 10 as well. So that's how to limit it, so that you're not, for example, getting the children to practice the 4 times table. That is in this one here, but this check, it doesn't, you can't limit it. It only goes up, it'll cover everything up to the 12 times table. Had another one there. If they continue after the challenge, oh yeah, if they continue after the challenge, do these questions affect their accuracy? It does. So if they keep going, so for example, when you set up a challenge, let me go back here. When you set up a challenge, Zoe talks about looking at this correct answer target, because the children will always say to you, how many do you want me to answer? How many do I need to do? So give them this wee target here. If it's 30 and they answer the 30, fantastic, but they can continue and answer more and more. And actually, when we showed you that data here, the reason why probably it's 103% is they were probably halfway through a game and they answered an extra 3 questions correctly during that game. So if they hit that target halfway through a game, we don't shut it down, they just carry on. So sometimes they go over their target, and they can want to go over and keep going in and answering it. It will only stop at the date and time that you've asked it. So it will affect your accuracy. Any other questions?
Bruce, when you set work, can people play games and ignore challenge, or do they see challenge as soon as they next log in? So what will happen is, if the pupil is in the middle of a game, they will get to finish that particular game, but then the challenge will be prioritized, and that's the next thing that they will have to do.
Super. Just I'm going to look down through them. Is there a way to set up a contest between classes within your schools? There is. We do have an option. Let me just go back into set work. There is a competition option in there. It does take a little bit, I'm going to be completely honest with you, it does take a little bit longer at setting up classes within your schools. This one was really just built for class competitions, where the children can compete against each other individually in the class, or you can set them up within small groups within the class and they can compete against each other. It does work with whole school, however, it will take you a little bit longer depending on the size of your school. So that's something to take into consideration when you're doing it, but you can set them up into teams, choose, for example, C team, and then if they are in their home teams, this is a clownfish team, she's in the dolphins, she's in the sharks, and so on. You can set them up there, but doing that for the whole school, you would have to go down through all of them and assign them different classes there once you've set up the classes there. But if it's a small school, then yeah, that's totally impossible. I will take that feedback there, or that question, and we'll give it to our product team, who are always looking at how can we improve. Any more, Zoe, have you seen pop up?
Lots actually. Let's see. If you share a class, is there a way to allocate from different teachers? There is, Elizabeth McGovern. Mara, do you want to just show how to do that? So you go into settings on your teacher dashboard, go to manage students, and you'll see all the classes there. And at the side of each class, you've got a little view details link there. Then you can select teachers and you can add yourself to any class. So that's a good thing. The thing about Sumdog is all teachers have the same permission level. So sometimes you get schools saying, I need ads and like an admin level, but it's not. All teachers have access to everything. They've all got the same permission levels. All teachers can access and view any of the work set, any challenges or assessments, like we mentioned that earlier, and you can join any school. So it's very inclusive.
You can see here, I'm a teacher who has lots of classes and lots of groups, so I can change my classes, my groups. That will change the leaderboard on there, and it will also change, obviously, what I can set up in set work as well. So I can do all of that there, so you can assign yourself. I know sometimes senior management assign themselves to lots in there. I think that's, somebody, Yvonne, I guess I was wondering if they could get any teaching hints or walkthroughs on how to work and through it. Yes, Yvonne. teaching hints go into set work, all maths topics, so our walkthroughs and how to answer that question, choose the skill, and then let me just find a random skill down here. And then click on that wee question mark, stick that on your interactive board or your projector, and then go through how might we answer this one, children, or whiteboards in front of them, a show me activity. Okay, less than 85, which one? 1, 2, 3, show me. And the children obviously write it down and hold that up there. So that is there. Certificates. Are there certificates or anything teachers can use to reward their children? Yes, Yvonne. If you email Zoe, and let me just put Zoe's details up there. If you email Zoe, Yvonne, zoes@sumdog.com, then she can send you some certificates, which I will pass on to her. And rewards, right on the front page. Zoe mentioned this right at the start. You can send coins when you've got a subscription to the children. So use it a wee bit of carrot and stick. Okay, when you do your Sumdog work, I'll give you 100 coins and you can decide what message you're going to send it to. Final question. Audible questions? Yes. So is there a way for them to be read out? Yes, there is. Some of the skills do have that read aloud aspect. So I will quickly find one and see if anybody has any other questions that Zoe needs to answer.
Some of my Eva, some of my P1 pupils are sitting at mid-first level where I've accessed reports. I'm wondering if this is because they've been getting help at home. Should I reset diagnostic? Eva, that's the thing. You know your pupils. You've got the diagnostic tool, which is fantastic, but you know your pupils. If you think there's no way you know that, you've been getting help at home, absolutely reset the diagnostic if you feel that it is definitely not accurate to their level. I wouldn't make a massive habit of reset the diagnostic, but if you genuinely feel that, you know, I mean, it's only going to do harm to the people because they're just going to be getting asked questions that are not at their level. So, but yes.
Yeah, definitely. And there's the read aloud here. So it looks a bit jazzier on the children's side. So they can switch it on, they can switch it off, and it will read it out to them. Word problems, anything that's got lots of words in it for early first and some of second will be read aloud to them. So. Right.
I think that was obviously these girls are happy to answer a million questions, and they would stay here all day. But also they've provided you with their contact details. Please do get in touch with them if you have other questions about Sumdog. Yep. Remember that there are discounts available for mentioning that you were at this conference, 15%. So please do that if you're getting in touch. 15%, oh my, great. So get in touch with them, and I'm sure they'd be happy to get you on board. But lots of free facilities as well, so make good use of Sumdog. Thank you very much to both of you for presenting today. I want to also just remind people that we have a feedback form. If you think this conference is the kind of thing that we should do more of online, although we love doing the one at Stirling, if you think we should do more in the way of virtual ones, you can put that in the feedback form. Just give us all your thumbs up and your thumbs down from today. We want to hear about it. But thanks once again to Mara and Zoe for their workshop this afternoon. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we've got some Zoe. David Brown put a question in there. David, if you contact Zoe, Zoe S@sumdog.com, she will get back to you on that. She'll ask you lots of questions about how many kids are in your class or in your school or year group. So yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Chris. That's been great. That was really good to join everybody today. I hope you had a great day as well. Lots of different workshops, and they sounded absolutely amazing. So yeah, thanks very much for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we get to see you in person next year.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you very much. Right, everyone. Have a lovely Saturday evening.
Yes. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.